Hey there. So you've got this creative passion and you're thinking, could I turn this into a real business? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to break down exactly how to sell acrylic paint sets online. And honestly, these ideas work for pretty much any curated product you can dream up. Let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? You walk into an art store and bam, you're hit with this giant, intimidating wall of paint. I mean, there are hundreds of colors, so many brands. It's totally paralyzing. But here's the thing, that exact feeling of confusion, that's your business opportunity right there.
Okay, if you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. This is such a crucial shift in how you think about your business. You're not just selling a product, you're selling what that product lets someone do. You're selling a finished painting, a really thoughtful gift, or just the confidence to finally start a new hobby.
So, before you even start thinking about what paints or brushes to buy, we have to take a step back. The first, most important step is to get super focused on who you're actually selling to.
Because, let's be real, everyone is not a customer. Are you aiming for a total beginner who's scared of looking silly? Or maybe a parent who's just desperate for a rainy day activity for their kids? Or what about a gift buyer who needs something that looks impressive and thoughtful, like right now? Every single one of these groups has totally different needs. And this is what they're actually typing into Google. See, they aren't just searching for acrylic paint. They're searching for a solution. They want a complete kit that has the brushes, they want something that's safe for their kids, or they want a perfect, ready-to-go gift. They want you to do all the hard work and thinking for them. Okay, so once you know exactly who you're talking to, then you can build an offer that feels like it was tailor-made just for them. Let's look at how that actually turns into a product strategy.
What's so cool about this is how it really breaks down the why behind the buy. A beginner set sells because it makes people feel less scared, you know? It's a safe first step. A project set sells because it feels totally custom for a specific thing, like maybe acrylic pouring. And a gift set, that sells because of how it looks. It takes all the stress away from the buyer and makes them look like a hero. See? You're solving different problems for different people.
So here's the big takeaway on this. Don't try to offer a million things. Just start with 3 focused signature sets. If you give people too many options, you just end up recreating that overwhelming, paralyzing feeling from the art store, which is the exact problem you're trying to solve in the first place.
All right, next up, pricing. This is the topic that makes most new sellers really nervous. But listen, we're not going to think about being the cheapest. Nope. We're going to price for confidence and for building a real business.
Because your price has to cover so much more than just the paint, right? You've got the cost of the actual stuff, sure, but what about your time to pack it all up? And the payment fees, shipping boxes, marketing, maybe even the occasional return? You've got to build all of this in if you want this to be a sustainable business and not just a money-losing hobby.
And please remember this. This should be your mantra. You are not trying to compete with the giant online retailers on price. You just can't. Your secret weapon, your unique value, comes from your thoughtful curation, the clarity of your offer, and the confidence you give your customer. That is what people will happily pay for.
Okay, so you have an amazing product and a solid price. Fantastic. But how do you get that value across to someone staring at a screen? It all comes down to your product page.
Don't just list a bunch of technical specs. Nobody cares. Instead, follow a simple, really helpful structure like this one. Start with a promise, something like the perfect set to paint your very first masterpiece. Then clearly say who it's for, list what's inside, and, this is the most important part, explain why you chose those specific things. That builds trust in a split second. And you have to get inside their heads and answer all those little nagging questions they're thinking but are probably too shy to ask. You know, like, is the paint going to be thick or all watery? Are these brushes going to shed all over my painting? Is this stuff actually safe for my kids? Answering these worries right on the page is a huge driver for sales because it just erases all that hesitation.
All right, you've got your product dialed in, your pricing is solid, and your product pages are ready to go. The final piece of the puzzle is the shop itself. So let's talk about the best way to get your store launched. Look, you could start out on a big marketplace or just sell through DMs, and that's okay for testing the waters. But they're super crowded, the fees really start to add up, and honestly, it can get chaotic fast. For a real, long-term business, you really want your own shop. It's your asset. It's where you control your brand and build actual relationships with your customers.
Now, I know why most people hesitate. They assume that setting up a proper online shop is going to be super complicated and really expensive. But what if it wasn't? What if you could get up and running professionally for just £99 a year?
So one option to look at is a done-for-you service like Make Local for Global. They literally build and launch your entire online shop, which can be a total game changer for first-time sellers. They just handle all the tech stress so you can focus on what you're good at, creating amazing products.
And their local plan is basically the whole shebang. You get a professionally designed store, your own custom domain name, a business email, payment systems all hooked up, everything. Plus, they give you training and support to get you going. You can be live in 5 days, and the best part, 0 commission on your sales.
So let's bring it right back to where we started. It was never just about the paint, was it? It's about the result. It's about the confidence, the creativity, the fun. So the real question is, what result are you going to start selling today?